We're out here on Father's Day. It's almost dark. Just want to take a quick check on the corn. We'll look at some more down here, but I want to show you the few cantaloupes that came up. Got some blooms here, a little chicken house weed. I don't know what kind of weed that is. We call it a chicken house weed. But anyway, get the chicken house weed out of my cantaloupe because our cantaloupes are blooming. Look at those blooms. All right, I'm gonna bring my hoe down through here. This is the sweet corn here, these little rows here. I'm gonna have to put the fertilizer to them this week because we're expecting rain about every day here in North Alabama. Here's another cantaloupe right here. So I'm gonna hoe these cantaloupe, what few came up, and then go check on the watermelons. Well, to my buddy Scott, this video is for you. He texted me the other day and said, you need to be showing us updates of your corn and watermelons. People want to see what's going on with it. So here you go, Scott. Here's what's going on. My daughter had the camera here. She was spinning it around. She said, oops, I didn't know I was recording. I left it in here. I thought it was funny. All right, so out here in the main part of the corn, and looking good. It's about 6 feet tall. Most of them, there's still some short ones around me here, but most of them are about 6 feet tall. A few of them are starting to tossle. We call it tossling. I don't know what it's called, but if you got a better name for it, let me know. But look here, when it starts to put out its pollen right there, we call that tossling. So some of it's, just a few of it is starting to tossle. And that means it's going to start making ears. So this one is tossling already. There you can see it starting to put on the ears. Got a Japanese beetle. Look at those Japanese beetles. Silly things. I can't stand those things. So a few of them starting to put on some ears. There's another ear coming in right there. Another little baby ears coming in right here. So folks, we're gonna have corn here before you know it. So looking good. Obviously some bare spots in here, but that's all right. It'll give us a place to stand if we get to hunt this. And we can stand in a bare spot to shoot the dove. So corn's looking good. We're gonna move up here and check the watermelons. All right, so if you remember me saying early on, I don't think that's a watermelon. That's not a watermelon. It's squash. I told you we'd leave this thing and we'd see what it did. And look here, we got some squash. So now I have one more squash plant I gotta come and check. Here's the watermelons, let me see those. They're starting to run. You can see these runners coming out here. And they're doing great. This one right here, got runners about 3 feet long on this one. This one here about 3 feet long on those runners. So we're down here doing a little hoeing, but mainly just kind of checking everything. There's that one. This one here looks really good. He's got runners going. He's 6 feet long from end to end probably now, so that one's doing great. I think what I may do is in the next week or so train all these runners to go out in the corn, and then my watermelons will be out in the corn where there's less weeds than there's going to be out on this side over here. So I may need to do that. I'll train the watermelon vines to go into the corn where we've, obviously it was Roundup Ready corn. We sprayed Roundup, but not as many weeds out there. So watermelons are doing great, and gonna have to bear with them for a little while. This area right here, I'm about to get the tiller on the tractor and get a hold of this, because there is no watermelons in this section until you get right here. And that little guy there, he's gonna have too much competition with this mess right here. So I'm gonna get the tiller a hold to them. And there's a good watermelon there, and watermelon there. So I need to put the tiller back on the tractor and get after these guys. So here, back to the corn here. These on the edge looking really good. Starting to put on some more ears of corn. So in this area here beside the corn patch, we got about 2 acres probably here that we bush hogged last week. I talked to the guy at the farmer's co-op, and he's supposed to be getting me some millet seed. I think I'm gonna plant this in millet, and then we'll bush hog that and have a dove shoot.